Hey guys, so I know it's definitely been a while, but I am back with another book review. Today I'm going to be reviewing Inside Out by Terry Trueman. I found this book on Amazon, as I find most of my books. I was actually buying a different book. And after you buy a book, like a list of suggestions comes up at the bottom and you can click on it, and there's like 30 books. And I can honestly do this for hours. Like just scroll through suggestions and click on a different, and then scroll through those suggestions. I can do that forever. So I found this book, and I don't remember what exactly intrigued me about it. I mean, if you look at the cover, it's not, no offense to Terry Trueman, I'm sure he's a great guy. But it's not exactly like a bam in your face kind of cover. It's not something I would usually like pick up. I just kind of clicked on it to see what was going on, I guess. And as soon as I clicked on it, I knew I had to have it. So Terry Trueman has written a couple of other books. I've never read them, but they're all about basically mental health struggles or mental illness struggles. And if you know me as an author, you know that that is my niche. My niche? I don't actually know how to say that. I've heard it said both ways. I like to say niche. I love writing about it and I love reading about it, like both. So when I clicked on this book, I was like, yep, add that to my cart. That is coming to my house. The back, as you can see, is like really interesting. It like catches your eye with all of these short sentences and you're like, what's gonna happen though? So basically the back, it says, the danger is within. A busy coffee shop, a robbery gone wrong, 2 gunmen, 9 hostages. Hostages, did I say that right? Flashing lights, and Zach is caught in the mayhem. Zach is the main character. But nobody realizes that Zach, who has no gun and no knife, has a mind more dangerous than any weapon. And I was like, whoa. So the first thing I do when I find a book on Amazon is I read the reviews. I don't necessarily believe other people's reviews, but if the book has like 1 star, it's for a reason. This book had very high reviews. And so people were like, this is so riveting. This is so like on the edge of my seat. I couldn't put it down. And I was like, a thriller? Okay, I don't usually read thrillers, but I'm gonna read it. Like, I have to know what's going on. So I bought the book. Let me start off by saying this book is not a thriller. At least not for me. I think I laughed more than I did, more than I was scared in this book. Zachary is very, I don't even know how to describe him. He just made me cringe and laugh more than anything. So I definitely wouldn't classify it as like riveting or like on the edge of my seat. But that's just me. So basically the story goes that Zachary is a 16-year-old boy and he suffers from schizophrenia. And he was sitting at this coffee shop because his mom was bringing him his medicine at 3:30. And the gunmen come in like right after 3. So like they are holding up the place with guns and Zach is basically sitting there. Zach doesn't feel emotions on the same scale that everyone else does that doesn't suffer from schizophrenia. So he was looking around the room for social cues. Because for Zach, this could be a normal everyday thing. Because he has a hard time telling reality from his hallucinations. So when he saw that everyone else was scared, he realized, okay, this is real, this is happening, I should be scared. For me, this was such an intriguing read. It was written in the point of view from someone that suffers from schizophrenia. And I have never read a book like that before, and I have never found a book like that before. And so I couldn't put it down. I read the whole thing in one sitting. As you can see, it's not that long of a book in the first place, but I was page 1 to the last page, I was in it. So when you're reading a book, you always base the situation that's happening on the authenticity of your of the person telling the story. So in this case, that would be Zach. Like, can you believe what he's saying? Like, basically, how trustworthy is he? And for me, I didn't find Zach to be a trustworthy narrator. And so I was like, is this really happening, or is this just Zach? And so the whole time I was sitting there and I didn't know what to think. And then Zach says some of the most outlandish things. Because suffering from schizophrenia, he doesn't feel things on the same way that I might. And so, honestly, when he was taken as a hostage, he just really wanted a maple bar. Like, that is what he wanted at this coffee shop. So that's what he's thinking about when they put him in this back room. And, like, he says it out loud. He's like, do you guys like maple bars? And they're like, we have guns. And he's like, he's just really intrigued by everything that's, like, going on in his own mind. And the situation around him doesn't bother him in the least bit. So as time passes on, like way past 3:30, Zachary does not get his medication because he's being held hostage. And so his mind starts to, he's already hearing voices the whole time. And but as the time wears on, the voices become louder and the voices become more dominant, and he can't really tell like what's reality and what's actually happening. And so it was just me. That was why I found the book riveting, not because it's being held up and there's gunmen, but because I'm like, what is going on with Zach though? So yeah, I would definitely recommend this book to anyone that has the same interest in mental health or mental illness as I do. I give it 2 thumbs up. It was, I couldn't put it down. It was such a good book. And then scroll through that. So basically the gist of the story is something like this. Burp. What the heck, hair? What is the sun doing in my face? Here, sit back here. Because it was written in the point of view with someone. Why is my hair not cooperating today? Why does my hair hate me? Louder, and they become like and I will definitely be reading more from Harry Trueman. Harry, that is a president. Terry Trueman.